So hello, welcome to this Flutter tutorial. Today I want to show you, this is the first time in English, so maybe there are some mistakes, but yeah, please don't be angry about that. So today I'm showing you how to do networking right with Flutter. So I saw so many tutorials out there with basic networking stuff, but all that projects there was no idea how to deal in the real world, how to architecture it right. So that was the main problem. And I thought, okay, let's do a quick tutorial about networking with Flutter and have the approach to get at the end a real, or not completely real world application, but a more real world example with. So that's what we want to do today, and I think let's start. Okay, so here's my screen. I think it's big enough. Yeah, that should be okay. So this is a complete new Flutter app from scratch. I created with Flutter Create, so everything is basic. I changed the My App widget with a container, and I already started it. Yes, you see nothing because we only have a container here. And I created some, that's a little bit tricky to see right now. I see it. So I created some dictionaries. So here's the models. Here are the pages, later the repo, and the main dot. So yeah, so 3 folders, nothing special. I think at first we have to add some packages. So at first installing, we use stacked. We need build runner. Build runner is a dev dependency. So retrofit and the generator, it's also a dev dependency. And the JSON package. I think we don't have to add more than this. I'm pretty sure that should be enough. Wonderful. So we have all our dependencies. So let's get them. Error online 32. Oh, sorry, that was a mistake. So now should everything be fine? Yeah, it's loading. We can start to work. Let's think about what we want to do. We can start with the repository, and later we have to add the models and so on. So we can do that. Repository, create a new file, and call it weather. Oh wait, open weather repository. It's written right? Correct. So we have to import something, do. That's really important. And retrofit. At first, we have to create an abstract class, and we call it open weather API. I need a factory. Factory open weather API. And we have to add dio and string base URL, and I think that's all. So it's this one here, and we get an error right now because we don't declare it. That's because we don't edit the annotation and we don't edit the example, the g.dot file. So, but it's a problem. So let's annotate it. REST API and the base URL. Let's take this one. That's the base URL. HTTP API open weather map, blah blah blah. So you know what I mean. And we have to import our not existing G file. Open. Import. Open weather API dot g dot sorry. What's the name of our file? Let's do it like this. Copy it. Maybe that's a little bit easier. Okay, so now it's time to run the code. It's pretty easy. I can write it here as a comment because I think you can read it. So we have to run Flutter packages pub run build runner build. And when we are doing this, everything should work. I hope so. So I have an error here. It says missing part, and that's a problem. I don't have to use import. I have to use part. That's all. So that was a mistake. I run it again, and it should work. Yeah, so it succeeded, and here you see what it's created. That open weather API check dir isn't null. Yes. So this is our repository in the first approach. And now let's add our first path. So we need that /weather endpoint, and for that we create it right here. So get, and let's use the brackets. Weather. It should be right. Yes. So that's our annotation. So I passed the example URL here in the comments. So we have the query parameters and our API token we have to add. So let's create a function. The future with void right now because we don't create our models. And let's call it, I don't know what I've called it here. Yes, get current weather. So, and in there we need an query parameter, and it uses that queue. Application app ID string API token. So that's all. It's pretty easy. It's really easy. Okay. So let's run the build runner and let's have a look what's inside. So here, current location, we have the app ID, API token. So this is our response. We get coordinates, we have the weather, main with the temperatures. Yeah, so that's what we have to do right now. We have to create the data models for our API call. Let's create it. Let's rather. So I think the best thing with models is only to write the model name. I don't like it when you have always weather and weather model and blah blah blah. So okay, so let's have a look here. I think this should be the correct one. Yes, perfect. And part, and we have to add weather.g dot. So that's done. And now let's create our weather model. Weather, and what's inside? Let's have a look. So we have the weather, and what we want let's take, that's too easy. Only weather and weather. Let's take the main. So the temperature, it's in Fahrenheit. So what we need is the main model. main. We have to create this. Weather. This dot main, and what we have to do, we have to create a factory with weather dot from JSON. So that's something we have to write. I don't know why, but we have to. Dynamic JSON, and this goes to a function that's not created, or constructor that isn't created right now. Weather from JSON that JSON. Okay, so that's the from JSON mapper. And we don't have that JSON. This one, and I think that is the correct one. Yes. Let's take it, copy, paste, main, and what's inside main? We only take the temperature. That's easy. Main. This dot temp. I like it to write it. I love that. And let's create a factory method. Main JSON. It's map string dynamic JSON and so on. We all know that main JSON. Okay, I think that should be enough. Let's run the runners. Perfect. Okay, so let's have a look here. We have the from JSON. It creates a toJSON method, and it's on our side to add this or not. Maybe one thing that's not okay. I don't like it when we have. So well, let's create a new file here. Main dot. Do it like this. Import JSON annotation and part main.g.dot. That should be fine. Okay, let's run the build run again. Okay, everything is fine. Everything works. Maybe we have to run it again. Okay, perfect. So our JSON parsing models are ready to use. Okay, now we have our model. So let's add our model here. We want to have an weather as response, and now we can use it. So for this, sure, we could use it directly in the main.dart or something like this, but I don't want this. And what I see, maybe it's not the best idea to name one of the models main.dart. I see it right now, but yeah, okay. It's okay. Sometimes that happens. It's in another path, so That should be okay, I think. I hope so. I think when we run it, everything is fine. Yes. So let's go to the UI, to the pages. Let's create a new folder, call it, I don't know, home. And there we create a new file, the home page dot, and we create the home page view model and the home repo. So one question, why do we need the repository again, or why do we need a repository again for the home page? See it like a use case. So I only need that repository for the Open Weather API on my home screen. And the UI shouldn't know what's going on in the background. So I only want to this home page repository is only for our view model at the end. So the repository will take care of getting the data from the right source. Only the homepage repository knows that it has to call the network repository, and the view model doesn't care if it's coming from an API or do we take it from an offline cache and so on. So the view model only wants the data and gets the data. How it gets the data it's not part of the view model, it's part of that home page repository. Yes, so it's a clean code approach. Okay, okie dokie. So let's create the home page repository. That's easy. Class home page repository. Can call our repository, and let's add a feature here of weather, feature weather, get weather, and we have to add the string for our location. And I'll show you what I mean. Open Weather API. So dio here, import dio. And yes, get the location for the location. And yeah, here it makes sense to have an, I don't know, a file with let's take the API key here with something like an constant file or something like this. But here it's okay to take it like this. So that's what we get, and that's okay. Don't need more on the home page repository. So let's go to the view model, I think. Yes, let's go to the view model. I love view models. We need, I think it's good to import this one. Import have a look here. Home repository. So class home screen view model extends change notifier, and we don't need a constructor. What do we need for the home screen view model? We need the weather, current weather. So that's important. And let's think about it. I think that's all. I don't think we need more data fields. I know something. something like is loading. Set it to false. Yeah. So let's get data from our API. So get current weather, async, and set is loading to true. So then we can show, okay, here something happens, you're working and getting data, and notify listeners. So after that, we say weather equals to get repository, get weather for the location. And we have to add a string value here. Add the location. And after that, it's loading. It's false. And also notify our listeners. So that's a real view model. So let's go to our homepage. Import material. And yeah, let's create a widget here. It's okay when we stateless widget, scaffold. Apple is a custom normal Apple with I think the auto-completion, I don't know why it doesn't work sometimes. Title, text widget. Oh, let's add weather here. And the body, let's have a container right here. Child. Center. Child. Text. Nothing. So let's homepage. Okay. So now you see there's nothing, and that's yeah, it is how it is. So I don't want to add too much UI parts here right now. At first we have to work with our view model, the stacked package, and that's how we do it. We have a view model builder, and I want to add it here because I don't work too often with this package. So web with a ViewModelBuilder widget, view model builder with the home page view model dot reactive, and I think let's text it scaffold stacked. So the parameter builder is required. Dynamic doesn't extend. Yeah. I thought we already. No, again. Home. I call it home screen view model. Sorry for this. Oh, why did I do it? Home page view model. Home page view model. So at first add the view model builder. Home page view model. and on model ready, we could do something like initialize. You see the package or the view model itself. We don't have to, because we don't have something to initialize. It's optional. What's more interesting for us is the builder. Now we have the context, the view model, and the last one would be the child, but we don't need it here. Let's return a scaffold like before. App bar. And something doesn't work. Oh, I love that. Turn scaffold. App bar. Now it works. I sometimes I don't get it why this doesn't work. Text. Other. Body. Container. Child. Center. Child. Text. And there we need the sorry, view model, current weather, main temperature. So what it says, double can't be assigned to string. That is easy. Okay, let's create something more. Bool is fulfilled, and when we have our data, so is loading is false and is fulfilled is true when current weather and when it's null, it's false. That should be good. Okay. View model is fulfilled. Then let's add view model current weather made as string, or this one here. Okay, no data here. Everything works. That's good. So now let's add the search functionality. But before we add this, I want to add something else. Let's create a new folder, call it utils, and let's create a debouncer. I created from scratch because normally I use something like ArcStart for this, but I want to show you a way without ArcStart because I love ArcStart and that functionality, but sometimes I think, okay, it's so much overload and I don't really need it when I only want to debounce my text input. And to debounce your text input, it's easy. Yeah. So let's create, let's add the foundation and class debouncer and final and milliseconds. And then white callback. and the timer. Okay, so debouncer. It required this milliseconds and one void callback. Action and timer isn't null. We can timer.cancel. Timer. So we need a duration here. Duration that was milliseconds. This duration milliseconds. So what's the problem here? I have to add the action. So that was the problem. Okay, so we have our debouncer, and now we can create a search field, and we are typing. We can, I don't know, set, okay, you only every 300 milliseconds you can send a post or get the data. I think it's a better way. Because the problem, every time you type and you have a network response, some APIs don't allow that, and that's really good to use. So we have the container here. First I need a column, children, and the auto completion doesn't work. Yeah, wonderful. So this is a container, and on top of this I create, oh, where it is, I have to search for it. That's every time the same. So what I need a text field. So this is our text field. Inside the text field, I need a controller. I don't create it as a controller. I think it's a good way to add this to our homepage view model. So text editing controller. Provide text controller returns new text editing controller. I hope that works. Maybe I have to put it as a variable. I'm not completely sure, but I think that should work. Provide text editing controller. Okay, what else do we need? We need the we need a decoration so that we have a nice search bar. So input decoration, label text. You see what I mean? That works here, not. So label text. What the hell is going on with that auto completion? Search. Here you see the first things, and what's int text search for a city. I don't know, something like this. Prefix icon. Yes, we have a prefix icon. Icons search. It's also good. And label style, text style, colors, black. Yeah, now we have it. I don't need it completely black. Okay, so the problem is now I can put in what I want and nothing happens. So text field, ViewModelBuilder text controller, and on changed. Get a string here, string value. Now let's call our view model. So let's create it. Final debouncer. Debouncer, and we want a half second. And let's do debouncer get let's return debouncer. Debouncer run. This is our action. Get current weather. Where is my text? With that value. Okay. I think we have all we need to get our values. So now let's test it. I'm not sure, maybe it's working, maybe not. I do a completely fresh restart and put it in Amsterdam. You see something doesn't work here. And I think it's because of our text editing controller. I think it's that. We create always a new one. And then we notify the listeners. And we don't show the is loading method. Maybe first let's add this view model, scaffold, and take the column. Let's don't take the column. Let's take the container here. So view model is loading. Then show container child enter. Looks like the other one, but circular progress indicator. You see, something happens here. And I think that's a problem. It notifies the listeners and yeah. Okay. I think it's a problem with our text editing controller. It changed. Maybe we have to add this to the final exiting controller text. Maybe we have to add this to the widget. Maybe. I'm not sure. So syncing files. Let's try it again. Okay, let's completely restart it. So you saw I have an error here, and I don't get it out in the first moment. What was the problem? Now I can show you what was the problem, and sometimes that's a point why so right now I'm using build runner to generate files. The problem with generated files is you don't create it yourself, so you don't know what happens there really. You can look at it, and with a simple API call, it's okay, because we have our OpenWeather repository with only one path, so with only one GET request, and that's okay. But when you have a lot of requests or posts, different endpoints, it could be really messy. What was the problem here? So I saw that I always returned not a value because I returned null. What's the problem? I added the weather model later, and I thought I want the build runner. Oh, you don't see it. Wait a minute. That was a problem here. Within the OpenWeather repository.g.dart. This is new. That wasn't here as 5 minutes ago, and I deleted this file and created it new with build runner. So build runner is sometimes a problem because you don't have the overview of everything that that happens in the code. When you have this package with only one request, it's okay. But if you have more or too much, I don't know, you have different endpoints with post, get, put, and delete, and so on and so on and so on. It could be really interesting to find mistake there. Yes, that was one. But right now, see it here. Let's close this. So now I can search for a city. That's my breakpoints. Sorry for that. And it shows me the Fahrenheit temperature value. And so we have only one problem. When we have an error here, we don't get the correct value. So what we can do, let's go to the view model, current weather. I think we can do it better. So now I used a await keyword. The question is, why should I do this? So we can get a value here and put it there. Val. And the value is weather. So when we have the data, we can say this current weather, well, and so its loading is false and is fulfilled is true. Catch error. Its loading is false. True. So wait a minute. What I'm doing. One here, there, and there. It's not maybe the cleanest code. I know that, but it's good enough. And this should work. Resync. So we get an error. Okay, no data here. Wonderful. And if we click that off, is it Berlin? Yeah, it's correct. Maybe Amsterdam. Perfect. Let's check if there and so that's the old value from Amsterdam. Maybe it makes sense to get the name from the weather model. I'm not sure if there's our call. We have the name here. There, wanted. So let's delete. I delete it because I don't trust the build runner completely. And let's hope everything works. And this is our view model. Let's say provide text controller, string, provide city name, current weather dot name. So we're sure that we get something, and where it is, homepage, to string, Texas. Oh, sorry. So let's view model. Provide city name. And here also add this one. I think it should work. Oh, let's close the browser. Please, let's close the browser. Berlin. Okay. So that was the last city, Amsterdam. And it works. Fine. So this is a way how you can use it correctly. Let's change the screen here to this one. So this is how you can do networking correctly with Dart and which packages you should use. Can do it like this. Maybe there's some other way that's better, but for me, this is a good way to do that. Yes. So thank you and we see us in the next tutorial.